Elon Musk owns companies that build rocket ships and electric cars. Now he's taking his wealth and influence to social media, buying Twitter in a deal worth $44 billion US.
This is a game of high-stakes poker, and ultimately the Twitter board was waiting for a second bidder or a white knight to come. They never came.
Musk launched his takeover bid earlier this month after buying up 9% of Twitter's shares. He was able to secure financing, including loans from Canadian banks RBC and CIBC.
Taking it private, having a focus on product innovation, and maybe some shifting of perspective on short-term monetization will be really beneficial for the company. And, I like Elon. I think he's a really creative thinker.
Creative, but also notoriously unpredictable and outspoken. Musk calls himself a free speech absolutist and has criticized Twitter for failing to protect that. Following the deal, Musk enthusiastically tweeted, "Free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated." Twitter has barred some users for spreading hate or misinformation. Now some worry what it would mean if Musk loosens the rules.
To just kind of remove all of the moderation, which would just mean a massive influx in fake accounts, spam accounts, pornography on the site, hate speech, things like that.
Another big question, whether former U.S. President Donald Trump will return. He was banned for violating their policy against glorifying violence after the January 6th Capitol Hill riot. When asked if he would come back, Trump told Fox News he would be focusing on his own social media platform. The current White House is watching the deal, too.
No matter who owns or runs Twitter, the president has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms, the power they have over our everyday lives.
Musk has 84 million Twitter followers, and even before the deal was official, he tweeted, "I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that is what free speech means." Twitter's stockholders have to approve the deal, which is expected to close this year. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
Now, control of powerful online publishing platforms is something in common for several of the world's richest people. Musk, of course, is number one, and his stake in Twitter could make him even richer. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos is the second richest person on the planet, and he owns The Washington Post. Other tech titans in the top 20 include Larry Page, who started Google, Michael Bloomberg, the co-founder and CEO of Bloomberg, and Mark Zuckerberg, who started Facebook. So, a pretty exclusive club. We're going to bring in our senior business reporter, Peter Armstrong, on this. The question I feel like I'm going to be asking time and time and time again, why would Elon Musk buy Twitter?
Look, it's a good question, and it's really hard to say because Elon Musk is as mercurial as he is rich, and he does things sometimes just to buck the trend. But he is spending an awful lot of money here, even to the world's richest man, $44 billion. That's a lot of cash. And he's taking like 20% of his existing fortune, mostly of Tesla shares, and converting those into Twitter shares. One analyst today said that's like taking caviar and converting it into a New York pretzel. But if he's risking this much money, you have to think this is about more than just trolling and, doing good by free speech.
I would take the pretzel.
I would too. Not bad.
But $44 billion, it's a heck of a lot to pay, right? So how much influence does that buy him?
Well, I mean, it does buy him some. But if you look at that chart that you showed at the beginning of all this, in terms of the number of users, you have Facebook way up here at the top, then YouTube, and then way down here you have Twitter. One of my favorite Wall Street types today tweeted out that Twitter does like $3.5 billion a year in revenue, a business roughly the size of the Olive Garden. It's still something of a niche. It's a powerful niche where the world's thinkers hang out, but the question is, what is Musk going to do with that? Will he convert it into paid subscriptions? Maybe. The fact is, though, for all the bluster today, Andrew, we still don't know a whole lot about his plans.
Well, twice in 2 minutes, you've made me hungry. Peter Armstrong, thanks very much.
You bet.